Hey guys, Ron Onesti here, hanging with my buddy Marc Martel. Let me tell you something. This guy is the real deal. Has come to be one of our favorite performers, not only at the Arcada Theater, but at the Des Plaines Theater. He'll be August 30th, Des Plaines Theater, August 31st at the Arcada. So good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you again, man. Thanks for having me.
You know, no problem, man. You know what? I got to tell you, we've been working together a few years now, and we did, that thing in Vegas, which was very, very cool. And we've got some other things on the horizon to work together with. And it's such a pleasure to work with you. But that's, personally, you're just a cool guy. Not to spend a whole lot of time on that because you just are. And what that the coolness of being a cool guy is being real. And you as a performer, I've noticed. I mean, that's for me, there are great tribute acts, there are great impersonators, there are great impressionists, but I definitely don't see it that way. This is you. Your show is you. Your music is you. It's real. It just so happens that you have emulated and personified the Freddie Mercury experience. But I just love when I'm watching you. I'm mesmerized by your talent and the way that you take over a stage. And I don't want to say become Freddie because I don't think that's what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, that's right. And you setting up this question is gonna gets me thinking about something that is it's a weird thing, and also I've gotten used to it. So you can get used to anything, right? And the fact that no songwriter really ever grows up aspiring to perform someone else's music. I don't think. And I was very well on a path of just your traditional songwriter. Had my own band for like 13 years, and and then this Freddie Mercury thing comes along, and here I am, more than 10 years later, still doing it, and walking that line between giving Queen fans what they want, but also maintaining my own separate identity from Queen's frontman. I think about this quick little interaction I had with Brian May a few years back, when Queen with Adam Lambert came through Nashville, and I hung out with them after the show, and Brian said, "So, how did it feel watching someone else perform your music?" And I was like, "Oh, is that like kind of like an underhanded jab?"
Seems like a shot.
Because I mean, I do kind of make it my own. I'm fully aware it's not my music, but I guess after doing it for over 10 years, you start to almost feel like it's yours, but it's definitely not yours. So it's a very weird thing, man. And I definitely, like you said, I don't pretend to be Freddie on stage at all. I tell my own personal story with the music and with the band. And yeah, it is a weird thing. And I have to keep reminding myself that.
I think, again, I think that's what makes the experience, a Marc Martel experience, so real. Because again, you've got people out there dressing the part and doing all this stuff and having the yellow pants or the white pants or all that kind of stuff. But
Mhm.
you've made this music so much your own, but it's such a unique combination of music that you've made your own, but also it's classic. Everybody knows it, everybody loves it. And those are big shoes to fill because, and I say this a
Mhm.
lot about, especially the nationally touring tributes and salutes, the real, if you want to call it that, the original performers, if they miss a word, off a beat, a skip a little something, forget a little something, a little off key, totally forgivable by the audience. They love it. No, it's all good. But when you guys are up there doing those classic songs, the audience is very, very particular and
Mhm.
critical. And if you by chance happen to do a stutter step on Bohemian Rhapsody or anything else, they're going to point and call you out. So it's a lot of pressure what you do.
Yeah, in some ways the bar might be higher for me because of the expectation that I'm the Freddie Mercury guy, I guess. But at the same time, Freddie was well known for taking liberties in a live situation. And anyone who's watched old live Queen concerts, they know that, Freddie was not to the T to his own music, that's for sure. And especially bailing on a lot of the high notes and getting creative with the melodies just so that he could sing day in and day out. And I don't I don't pretend like I have that license to do that because I know people want to hear the versions that they're the most familiar with, which typically is the recorded versions. So
Sure.
but I like to make sure that I'm giving myself a break on that because to sing all the high notes, especially when you got a bunch of shows in a row, it's pretty taxing on the larynx, as you can imagine. Especially we're about to hit 6 weeks in Germany. We're doing 28 shows just in under
Wow.
6 weeks. And so I've got to be really careful about, how hard I'm pushing myself and get into a rhythm there.
I don't know how you do that, man. I tell you what, I sing happy birthday. I need to take 2 days off. But uh, so let's talk about the shows coming up next week, a few days from now. Of course, you've got the classics. I mean, there's the top, I don't know. Well, they're all classics. That's the interesting part about Queen and Freddie
Hmm.
Mercury music. But you got the four, five, six, seven that must haves. What else can we expect in the show?
Well, like I said, it's not your typical Queen tribute show. It definitely is a tribute to their music, and it's a very faithful reproduction of their music. I put my musicians against any not only any other tribute band, but the musicians of Queen themselves. I often joke that my guitarist Tristan often sounds more like Brian than Brian does, but he's been doing
For me,
Queen
not.
even
So we'll
longer.
see.
Yeah, yeah, he's been doing Queen even longer than I have, and he knows Brian
Wow.
May as well. So it's kind of a funny thing to say. But I like I tell my own story. It's if you're expecting a reproduction of Wembley, that's not what this is, or Live Aid or anything like that. We have our own kind of set list that flows really well. It's a great emotional ride, and obviously a lot of fun, a few like emotional spots and a few deep cuts. We got to keep it interesting for ourselves and the longtime fans as well. Like there's a few like 4 or 5 slots in the set list that we kind of rotate out, little lesser known songs. But like you said, you got to play. I'd say it's more than the number you said. I think it's probably closer to like 14, 15 songs that
Oh
you
yeah,
don't play. You're gonna hear about it.
sure.
Yeah, so like right now on the set we've got It's a Kind of Magic, Stone Cold Crazy, um, you know, just songs like that that have a lot of energy, but maybe aren't like the first song people think of when they think of Queen.
The other thing that is obviously, the music is timeless. It's proving to be that, year in, year out. And I just love the young people that are really fostering this. Of course, Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, helped that tremendously, as we know. But it was out there. Matter of fact, my daughter just graduated high school, and they had their big parties, and they were dancing and doing their stuff, whatever. But man, oh man, when Bohemian Rhapsody came on, when Killer Queen came on, they knew every word and they were singing it to the top of their voice. And it really says a lot when these 12, 14, 16,
Yeah,
17-year-old kids and young adults know that music almost as well as we do. Do
yeah.
you see a lot of that?
There's Oh yeah. I mean, like you said, the movie definitely didn't hurt. I was already going pretty strong even before the movie came out, pretty full time with
Oh,
the
yeah.
Queen tribute, and then the movie definitely gave it a boost. And if I'm honest, there definitely are more young people in the audience. Queen has just easily earned their place in like the pantheon of music that's just never going to go out of style, I think. And it's funny, I talk to the older folks every now and then after the show, and they'll say, "Man, just the music today just isn't like what it used to be. Like this old '70s stuff is so much better than today's music." I'm like, I don't know, man. Every era of music has its expendable music. And today, just because it's so much easier to make music, there's so much more expendable music, but there's just as good, great music out there today. And I don't know if I want to get into that topic that I brought up myself, but
Well, do you
Queen
think
has.
then on that real quick, do you think 50 years from now there'll be a whole lot of Justin Bieber tributes?
That's a good question. Uh, you never know. People tend to gravitate to the music that they grew up with, and
Sure.
the people when who grew up with Justin, loving Justin Bieber when they were 12 years old, when they turn 50, 55, they'll be jonesing for a Justin Bieber tribute, I'm sure.
Jonesing for
So that's just
Justin. All right, that's
Jones
another
jonesing
Live
for
Aid
Justin.
topic. Well, listen, Mark. Again, I've been honored actually to really become friendly with you, work with you, experience your art, and again, as you touched on earlier, your band's art. I mean, it's such a 1 + 1 = 3 thing. The lead singer with the support band. It's a major experience at one of your
Mhm.
shows. We can't wait. Wednesday, and it's during the week, but you know what? You were so busy. I could only get you on a Wednesday or Thursday. Doesn't mean nothing because we'll take you on the eighth day of the week. We don't care. We love you very much, and we can't wait to see you. I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying this. I'm not blowing smoke up your skirt right now because I don't stay, to be honest with you. I put on about 700, 800 shows a year myself with all our
Mm.
venues. I don't stay at a lot of them, but I am always front and center till the very end of your show because it's so exciting, and I just love the music and what you do. So it's August 30th at the Des Plaines Theaters. It's on Wednesday, and August 31st at the lovely, iconic Arcada Theater in St. Charles.
Yes.
Please go to oshows.com, get your tickets now. See Marc Martel. He's a brother, he's a friend, he's a living legend. I'm going to say it. I said it. I know you can go, oh, what are you doing now? Now you're building me up too much,
Mhm.
pedestal. But I'm telling you, what you've accomplished, Mark, really is something very special. And you don't need me to tell you that, but I see them all. I see them all. And you are right up there, brother.
Well, thank you, man. That's too kind. But we love the Arcada. Can't wait to come back, and we'll see you then.
Yeah. We'll see you soon, everybody. Thanks very much. We'll see you August 30th, Des Plaines Theater, August 31st at the Arcada. Marc Martel and his vision, his experience, his Queen experience. See you then.